हेलो फ्रेंड्स, होप यू ऑल आर डूइंग वेल। अ न्यूज़पेपर इज़ हेयर, द हिंदू। डेट है आज की जुलाई 14, थर्सडे। तो चलिए कुछ नया सीखते हैं। तो आज हम पढ़ेंगे इम्पॉर्टेंट हेडलाइंस। फर्स्ट इज रानिल बिकम्स एक्टिंग प्रेसिडेंट एज गोटाबया फ्लीज टू मालदीव्स। Amid strife, political party leaders meet speaker to demand that both of them quit. Written by Meera Srinivasan. Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who fled the island nation and took refuge in the Maldives early on Wednesday, ahead of his promised resignation, appointed Prime Minister Ranil as acting president, the parliamentary speaker said. The announcement came even as protesters overranged the premier's office in Colombo in the middle of agitations against the leader, now as unpopular as the president who appointed him 2 months ago amid political turbulence in the wake of a daunting economic crisis. So here is the picture where it shows field day. The police fire tear gas shells as protesters stormed the compound of Prime Minister Ranil in Colombo on Wednesday, demanding his resignation. Also, it's written, we must end this fascist threat to democracy. We can't allow the destruction of state property. The President's office, the President's secretariat, and the Prime Minister's official residence must be returned to proper custody. I have ordered military commanders and the police chief to do what is necessary to restore the order, said the Prime Minister. Another headline says India ranks 135 out of 146 in the Gender Gap Index. Now, this news can be related and you can get questions for GS paper 1 and GS paper 2. It says country is worst performer in the world in the health and survival sub-index report. India ranks 135 among a total of 146 countries in the Global Gender Gap Index 2022, released by the World Economic Forum on Wednesday. The country is the worst performer in the world in the health and survival sub-index, in which it is ranked 146. This is how the news goes. Here is a picture which says the gender score. India ranked 135 in the gender parity out of 146 countries. Not good news for India. It shows India in economic participation and opportunity, it is 143. In educational attainment, 107. Health and survival is the last, is 146. And political empowerment, it is at rank number 48. Another important headlines is India-China talks to be held on July 17th. Corps commander level meeting is a part of efforts to take forward stalled process of disengagement. This is an important article. It says India and China are scheduled to hold the 16th round of Corps commander talks on July 17th on the Chinese side at Moldo as part of efforts to take forward the stalled process of disengagement and de-escalation in eastern Ladakh. The talks are scheduled on Sunday around 10 a.m. on the Chinese side, an official source said. In addition to the focus on disengagement at patrolling point 15 in the Gogra Hot Springs area, the effort would also be to discuss disengagement from Demchok and Depsang, which have been the sticking points in the last few rounds of talks. 15 rounds of talks have already happened. Here it shows firm stand. India is insisting on comprehensive disengagement and de-escalation of the situation in eastern Ladakh. This is how it goes. In May, the General Officer Commanding in Chief of Northern Command, Lieutenant General Upen Dwivedi, said the situation of the line of actual control is stable but in a state of heightened alert. And to ensure that irritants do not turn into violent situations, the two sides have opened up various channels of communication at the lower level, he added. We have regular hotline exchanges and we have stopped the system of body push, etc. that was there earlier, and no physical contact is being ensured. Another important news says transgender trainee pilot told to reapply for medical test. DGCA, which is the Director General of Civil Aviation, had earlier denied him, Adam, a commercial pilot license, but now the rules have changed and he would be getting the license. In a temporary win for transgender trainee pilot Adam Harry, the Director General of Civil Aviation has requested him to submit a new application for medical assessment required for further training to become an airline pilot 2 years after he was told that a hormone therapy he was undergoing for gender transition rendered him unfit to fly. So now Adam Harry would be able to get the license. So DGCA has changed its rules. This is how the news goes. The development follows a letter from the Ministry of Social. Another important news is India has achieved clean energy targets 9 years before the deadline. This looks like a good news for India. It shows in 2015 India committed to ensuring that 40% of its energy would be from renewable sources by 2030. India has achieved its clean energy targets 9 years ahead of the schedule, says our Union Power Minister Mr. R.K. Singh at the Sydney Energy Forum in Sydney on Wednesday. India has installed 162 GW of renewable energy capacity. 1 gigawatt is equal to 1000 megawatts, which is 41% of the 402 gigawatts of electricity installed. This is how the news goes. Good news for India. I think the targets now have been renewed. We reached this target on November 2021, and what a Prime Minister did was ask us to raise our ambition. And so, in Glasgow at the UN COP21, our Prime Minister committed to installing 500 gigawatts of renewable energy by 2030, which would then be 50% of the installed capacity. Despite having among the lowest per capita emissions in the world, we have invested in this energy transition because our traditions teach us to respect and care for our environment. We are not doing this for economic reasons, said Mr. Singh. Another headlines जिसमें आपको GS पेपर 2 में इसके ऊपर से क्वेश्चंस आ सकता है regarding Arms Act of 1959. Let's see what the news says. It says couple has been arrested. उनके पास 45 guns मिली हैं. जो कपल है वो अरेस्ट हुआ है IGI एयरपोर्ट पे, इंदिरा गांधी इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट पे. दे वर ब्रिंगिंग 45 गन्स फ्रॉम फ्रांस. इनका नाम है जगजीत सिंह एंड जसविंदर कौर. दे आर रेजिडेंट्स ऑफ डिफेंस कॉलोनी इन हरियाणा's गुरुग्राम, and they also have an 18-month-old daughter. Customs Commissioner, Airport and General Jubair Riaz Kamili said Mr. Jagjeet's elder brother Manjeet Singh was also involved in the July 11 smuggling bid. However, Mr. Manjeet slipped out of the airport. The 45 assorted brands guns were estimated. इनका प्राइस है, टोटल प्राइस जो गन्स का है वो तकरीबन 22.5 lakhs है.